I want to be hard on him for him, so he doesn't have time to be hard on himself.
Which makes absolutely no sense to me. I remember hearing that, and I got so angry because the reason he doesn't attack play aggressive is because he's nervous because he doesn't want to get pulled out of the game when he makes one mistake, which was what Miles has pretty much done every year that he's played, except for a little bit less during the end of last year. He let him play through the mistakes a little more.
Yeah,
and that's when he started playing good.
Yeah, he definitely started playing a lot more after Jordy left the team for a game there. It was it took Jordy not being there for Roby to finally start. And we always were saying, not just because we didn't think Jordy was good, but just because we thought Roby was probably the most versatile and maybe best player on the team. And even they said that. I think they also said on a post-game show, they were like, well, Roby on all-around stuff with defense and just different analytics and stuff, he's no one else is better than a B+, and he's an A or something like that. And then you're like, well, why was he only playing 20 minutes a game for most of the time and not starting for so long?
Yeah, I always thought he should have started. He just seems to be. He has so much more potential, and if you never play him, he's never going to be able to live up to that potential. And we're going to need him eventually. I think this season is the year we really need him to step up, especially if we want to make the tournament. We need a guy that can just really attack you and use his athleticism and just get to the hole and pretty much hopefully be unstoppable in a way.
So, which parts of Roby's game do you think we'll see improve the most on offense, I guess?
I'd say his three-point shooting. It was good percentage. I think I want him taking a lot more attempts this year, and I think that comes with Miles telling him to shoot more, and also him just having his personal confidence up to take those shots even when he's not. Because the only shots he took was when there was guys more than 5 feet away, and they looked good, and he made 40% of them. Highest on the team, right?
No, Evan Taylor.
Oh, okay, yeah,
45 or 44.
So 40%
second highest
on wide open threes. I think if he can shoot above 35 at a lot more attempts, which I want him to take, because I think he has the potential to make them. That makes it so much easier for him to do what he does best, which is use athleticism to get to the rim.
Yeah, I saw some stats on three-point shooting that I found really interesting. There are some stats that break down where the shots come from in terms of how far the defender is from you when you're taking the three. And there are some guys who are very good when the player is more than 6 feet off of them, which basically is a wide open shot. And they get a lot worse when the guy is 2 to 4 or right up in their grill feet from them. And so I would like to see, I think Roby, is probably a really good shooter when they're 6 feet away from him. That's probably 40% because he probably didn't take any threes with anybody closer than him. So I'd like to see him become a better shooter when guys are a little closer and actually guarding him.
But he's tall and he's really long, and he on his jump shot he has a high release, so it shouldn't be an issue of he's not going to get blocked for sure.
And he can jump.
Yeah, he can. Helps. He has good elevation on his shot. I don't know. I think if he shoots more, I think he can. I think he'll be a good shooter if he definitely worked on it this summer, I guess.
Yeah, I feel almost every part of his offensive game can get better. He could definitely, if he improved on dribbling, he could even maybe potentially play a little point guard. I feel like that's not
I think it's
a
more
Miles thing, but
I don't think he'll play point guard, but be able to, I'll have more confidence, and the team will have more confidence in him be able to, when he gets a defensive rebound, to just push it straight up the court on himself. And we saw him do it a few times. He grabbed the rebound and would just take it all the way to the hole, and I just remember, in those moments just thinking, why does he not do this every single time?
And then he almost loses the ball, but somehow gets it back and gets absolutely hacked while he goes crazy for a dunk. But also, I'd like to see him just even get better at driving to the hole and stuff. How do you see him as a defensive player this year?
I mean, he played really good defense when he was playing center, even against the bigger posts. Since he's such a good shot blocker, so athletic and so quick, even though he doesn't have the size, he has a strong base, and I think hopefully he's getting stronger up top this summer. But like he doesn't let the people go around him. It's just if they can bully through him, which seems to be pretty much his only issue on the defensive end.
Yeah, hopefully he can be a great off-ball defender too. I'd like to see him just like
come from help side and
So do you think he's in college a defensive 4 or 5? Do you think we can play him with? Should we play him with Jordy?
I don't. It's just weird because I don't want to play him with Jordy, but I don't see him as a 5. So I don't know. It's just, I guess it really depends on the opponent, I guess, just on what size of center they have if we need a really big guy. But I'd almost rather have Borkard play defense on the defensive end than like if they have a big center than Jordy. But like, he can't score.
Jordy at this point.
Yeah.
Let's save that. So, any last thoughts on Ruby? I guess let's do our prediction.
We're just pretty much saying they'll score. Everybody will score more points.
Yeah, we'll probably score, 100, 200 out there this year. Yeah, I think he'll score more.
Yeah,
this year.
I really want him to score more.
Maybe be even a little less efficient though, scoring more. But he shot 57%, which is way higher than anybody else on the team. 10% higher than anybody else. So
he took only good shots, but then he also didn't take enough shots.
Yeah, maybe take a few of those from Palmer and stuff like that. Get a few more shots. Okay.
Yeah, so looking at our main big guy in Jordy, he scored exactly 4 points per game. Now, wow. Does that include the games he didn't play in?
No, they never include those.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
But I was kind of hoping
low. I was hoping it included those, but so 4 points per game. Definitely hope he can score more than that.
I'm interested to see. We got to look at how many minutes he played last year, because
his minutes definitely. He didn't play like a ton, but I'll look at rebounds. Let's see.
I have his rebounds.
He had 4.7, which for being our Roby and Copeland both had 6.2, and he's our main big guy. He just needs to get. If he's more physical, I think he shies away from like contact and getting inside, both for like rebounding and points in general.
Yeah. So looking at his numbers, let's see. So played in 31 games, so almost every game. So he averaged 14 minutes. So that's a lot lower than guys like Palmer played 31, Isaac played 31, Glenn 30, Isaiah 24, Anton and...
So Isaiah played 24, and how many?
Jordy played 14.
Okay, so yeah, I guess it's not horrible then if you compare it to that. But still, when we got him, he was supposed to be like our finally getting like a good post player with offensive moves, right? If I remember correctly. And I think teams realized he was really only going to his left side. So I think if he really worked hard this summer and improved his right hand and being able to go both ways on like his hook shot, which is his primary move, I think he can be more of an offensive threat that way.
Looking at some advanced stats, so with analytics, so there's a stat called offensive rebounding percentage, which is just when you're on the floor, what percentage of the rebounds that your team gets is that individual player getting. And so he got 15.9% of offensive rebounds and 21 or 20.6% of the defensive for an 18.3 total percentage, compared to Roby, who had a total rebounding percentage of 14. So, I mean, those rebounding numbers aren't horrible, but I think we'd like to see him just score a little more, which he did do better at the end of the season.
After his, on his comeback,
and
he definitely scored better.
He probably scored more points, but in a lot less time as he wasn't starting.
Yeah.
In there.
I think, I don't know, he seemed fit better in that role coming off the bench. I mean, I don't know. I don't predict him to come off the bench this year necessarily, but I don't know. Do you think Roby will start this season?
That's a good question. So I guess we can think about that.
I would prefer Roby to start,
but it's season. Not. I guess Roby did not start last season. So I guess our obvious starters would be Palmer, Copeland, Watson, probably. I would expect Watson.
I guess wasn't Evan Taylor's.
So that's
starting?
The thing. So basically, so either Roby or Jordy started, and then at 2 guard is where we have that spot open because either Evan Taylor or Anton Gill, who both are seniors.
That makes it, I guess, if you play big, you'll be playing a lot bigger, but if Roby's shooting the 3, then he plays more of a stretch 4 instead of in the post 4, and then Copeland doesn't have to play the 4, and he can play the 3, right? And then, I mean, Palmer's playing the 2. But I don't know. It's just, I guess it's not really
if you want to go
guarding would be pretty hard, though. Defensive-wise, it would just be super big.
Especially if you're playing an opponent without a major
center. So I feel like you can't start both Jordy and Roby.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to see how that works out if Jordy or Roby doesn't start or if they are good together. I mean, I guess the thing is if Jordy can take over down low, I mean, you can play him and it's just going to be how good they are, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like it should be more of a game by game switch. Miles, if depending on the size of the other team, if they have a big set, a center, a primary center, 7 foot, 6'11", 6'10" center, then playing Jordy would be the better option. But if Miles can make that switch, if it's a smaller team with a center the size of Roby or something, then deciding to start Roby, unless Jordy has developed to be able to not necessarily dominate, but be able to score really efficiently against those smaller centers like he wasn't able to this last season.
And somehow you have to be able to have him kind of get out of the way on offense, and not just be in the lane, because when you bring big guys like that, it also allows the other team to bring in their big guy, and it makes it harder for guys to cut and get layups at the rim.
Yeah, so I mean, if we're still doing predictions, he scored 4 points a game.
I think he'll score more than 4 unless he somehow doesn't play or something.
Yeah. But I don't think him scoring more is necessarily a big thing we need. I don't think he is a super important role when it comes to scoring more. I'd say Roby scoring more is a lot more important than Jordy. I think Jordy mostly needs to stay out of foul trouble a lot better this season, for one. I think that's probably why he didn't play a ton of minutes. He fouled really fast, it seemed like, and then just getting more physical, rebounding, especially when we're playing teams with smaller centers.
Yeah.
And then Thomas Allen, he was freshman, right?
Yeah.
Yes, freshman that we're pretty excited for being a three-point shooter.
Yeah, he shot
50% in high school, which